Welcome back to Jelly Side Up with a Side of Scotch. I'm Lisa Olick. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy Sunday. The sun is shining, and um, I'm thrilled to have you here. And I now the Wizard of O keeps telling me that I keep forgetting to tell you to like and subscribe my videos, um, and so I'm doing that now. Get it out of the way. So like and subscribe, please. Anyway, I was thinking this week, I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were talking about our children, and when they got hurt or they were sick, and how life stops, and you go into mother mode. Um, and I was telling her about the fact that um, there was a technician at our orthopedist's office that we had on a first name basis. He was Matt the Gas Guy. We saw Matt the Gas Guy quite a bit for a few years. Um, uh, our youngest was blessed or cursed, however you want to look at it, with a really high threshold for pain. So when this child said, ouch, it was get in the car. Let's go. When he was little, we were at the park, and he was climbing the ladder for the slide and fell and caught his chin and just went ouch. And by the time he finished climbing and slid down the slide, he was covered with blood, and he had split open his chin. It's like, get in the car, let's go. I was away and got a phone call that he had broken his arm, and it was horrible because I wasn't there. But fortunately, the wizard took care of everything. But he and the next door neighbor kid had decided, we lived at the bottom of a hill, and they decided that they would go to the top of the hill and ride their wagon down. And our youngest is one of those ready, shoot, aim kind of kids. And they got about halfway down, and he decided that this was not a good idea after all. So he bailed out and broke his arm. And in the emergency room, when the doctors asked him what had happened, he informed them that he had fallen off the wagon. And fast forward 9 months, almost to the day, and he was at a roller skating party and fell and broke the same arm. And so we were back at the orthopedist's office, and he had an absolute dislike, horrible dislike for doctors. So he hated going to the doctor, and he was hiding underneath the exam table. And the doctor came in. Now, his regular orthopedist was on vacation, and her replacement happened to be the same doctor that saw him in the emergency room 9 months earlier. So the doctor walks in, and he never even looked. He never even looked at the exam table. He just popped the x-ray up into that light box thing that I'm sure has a technical name, but I have no idea what it is. But popped the x-ray in, and he's sitting there, and he's scratching his chin, and he's looking, and he's like, I should probably put a pin in that. And from under the exam table, my child yells, "You'll never take me alive!" At which point the doctor took a step back and looked, and he said, "I know you." I said, "Yes, you do." I said, You fixed his same arm 9 months ago." "I did?" I said, yep. And he looks at the x-ray, studies it a bit more, and says, "You know what? He heals well. I'm not touching him." Like, good answer, because we're never getting him out from that exam table. But enter Matt the Gas Guy. So Yeah, if our youngest so much as flinched or we were in the car going to the ER. He and his brother were roughhousing once, and he was still so little he was in a high chair. Um, but they came out for dinner, and I put him in his high chair and I handed him a cup of milk, and he literally flung his arm up, um, just to pick up his milk. And I'm like, get in the car. He had dislocated his elbow and wasn't crying, wasn't screaming, wasn't anything. It's like, okay, get in the car, get in the car. So yeah, sometimes bumbles don't bounce, and but he kept me on my toes. I'll tell you, he really did. Um, but truly, he as a child, he made me smile and laugh every day. And yes, he was a challenge, and yes, he was a handful. Um, but it was curiosity and just being a kid. Um, but we get to know Matt the Cast Guy pretty well. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and I hope you have a great Sunday. And please like, subscribe, leave me a comment if you have a Bumble that doesn't bounce. I'd love to hear about it. Um, Again, thanks for coming and joining me with all my crazy rambles. And I hope to see you back next week. And until then, as always, here's to good health. I hope you bounce.